Hey, how y'all doing out there in YouTube land? The Stiletto coming at you from the Wild Wild West. And today, we got another one in. I'm very curious to see which one this is. From Knife Country, USA. I'm starting to really like Knife Country, USA. It's starting to turn one of my favorite places to go get stuff. Knife Country, USA. Let's find out what it is. Let me see what we're going to open up with today. What should I use? I know what I use. One of my new favorite liner locks. The Waistline. Artisan Waistline. Awesome, awesome knife. If you want a knife that can really cut, this is one to get. Watch. Look at that. I think it's one of the sharpest knives I've ever owned. And I haven't stropped the blade or anything. This just came from the factory that way. Super sharp. Okay, let's see which one we got. Artisan Cutlery. Now remember, I told you all that I was going to get a couple of knives in the titanium versions of the Artisans that I really, really liked, that I was really impressed by, and that I felt like I just had to have the titanium versions. I love the G10 versions. They're awesome, but the titanium versions are like on another level, and I just really like them. And so I'm only going to get a couple of them that I want to carry and put in my drawer, not to get to collect. And this is the first one of them. There's the case that comes in. You know how Artisan does when you get the titanium level. And there it is. We already know about all this stuff by now. The cleaning cloth, your warranty card. We know about all this stuff, and we know about the spec card. Let's read the spec card real quick. Model 1810G, lock type, frame lock. Still, S35VN. Remember I was telling you I want to get one in S35VN. Hardness, 58 to 60 HRC. Handle material, titanium. Structure, ceramic ball bearing. This is the one I told you I was thinking about getting, because I wanted to get one to have to carry. And I don't know, I might still end up using the M390 one. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. I like the way it has a black pocket clip. And I trust a frame lock more than I do a liner lock. To me, a frame lock is more like a scorpion, like Andrew Dimko's scorpion lock. As long as you're holding on to the handle, when you're holding on to the handle, you're depressing the frame lock onto the blade tang, the back of the blade tang, and keeping it from sliding off. That's my theory. And so, I decided I didn't want to carry the liner lock version of this one, but I did want to carry the frame lock version. So I trust the frame lock. And what I mean by I trust the frame lock, by me trusting the frame lock, that means I could I don't need to have the quilt, the flipper be my safe, that what keeps my fingers safe from the blade. Oh man, that's so smooth. Let's see with the frame lock. When you're holding it, here's the frame lock right here. When you're holding it in a good grip, a good tight grip, you're holding that frame, you know, the lock bar onto the blade tang. Just like you do with a scorpion, only in a scorpion you're doing it from the top. The frame lock you're doing it from the side. But it's the same thing to me. So I think as long as one of these are in your hands and you're holding it tight, I think it should be fairly, fairly safe and secure. And I really love the design of this knife. I like the hardened steel inserts. Sorry about that. But I love the hardened steel inserts. It's a beautiful knife. And I like the lock bar stop. Absolutely beautiful knife. Let's see if this one's sharp. Well, this one's a lot better. This one's actually not that bad. It's still getting caught up a little bit up in here, where it gets thicker behind the edge. But actually, this one has more edge though. That's not too bad. Yeah, it still gets caught up in here though. So that's just part of having a, because every one of these I've had, whether it's the G10 handled one or the titanium handled one, they all have the same issue with the blade. But as you can see, the edge is totally sharpened. There's no flaws in the edge or anything like that. It just gets thick up here by the tip, as far as the edge is concerned. That's what I think, and I think that's what it always catches the paper. Here's my G10 version. Absolutely love these. I absolutely love these. So now I have one of these in 390, and the one that's going in my box is the S35VN one. I'm gonna save the 390 one to collect. I got this one to use. And it's super smooth. Absolutely love these. I'm not going to make this video be really long. Let's just take some quick measurements real quick and see if it's the same as the previous one. Let's do the blade thickness first. Let's turn on our gauge here, zero it out. Okay, here we go. Let's see if I can do this so everybody can see it. .08 or 4.06, a little bit over 4 millimeter. This now is saying 3.99. It's 4 millimeter. Just say 4 millimeter. 4 millimeter stick. And as we know, these are 3.8 because all the G10 versions at 3.81. So all the ones I've tried out so far that are the expensive models, the ones with the titanium handles, the Shark, the Shark, the Waistline, and the Hornet, they all have 4 millimeter blades, 4 millimeter blade stocks, and they're G10 versions, or the more affordable versions of non-frame lock ones, the liner lock ones, those all have 3.8 millimeter blades of the same versions of the same knives. The Hornet, the Waistline, and the Shark. Absolutely love this one. I'm gonna have this knife for a long time. I really like this stiletto. This is an awesome knife. Awesome. Absolutely beautiful knife. Right on, Artisan. And for all the naysayers that are against Chinese knives, you're missing out. This is a beautiful knife. For anybody that loves stilettos, anybody that likes stiletto pocket knives, folding knives, this is a must. Look how classy it is. It even says Artisan Cutlery on the bag spacer. On the budget version, it doesn't do that. Budget version, it's just a blank. I think they're both made out of the same material though, because this feels like it's at least aluminum. I would assume that this is aluminum or titanium. This one's probably titanium because it's a titanium handle. So I would assume this one is titanium. These are awesome. I like everything about them. They just look beautiful. And because I know that these are meant to be pokers and not slicers, the fact that it gets thick up at the edge at the front and you can't totally slice things from the choil to the tip, like I always like to do, doesn't really bother me because that's not what this knife is meant for. This one's meant to be a self-defense folder. And these pockets snag perfectly out of your pocket. If you like knives that pocket snag, this is among one of the best pocket snaggers I've ever owned. That's how good it is. It's an excellent knife for pocket snagging. And I like the way that the blade fits all the way in the handle. That's one thing I did like about the Cold Steel Oyabun, the Lindsay Thompson version, not the 26T, not the cheap one, but the 26. I mean not the 26T, but the expensive Oyabun, Cold Steel Oyabun is actually a really nice knife. It'd been cooler though if they'd have made at least a frame lock. But you know, they did make a real nice liner lock though. It is a real nice liner lock knife. And frame locks have their advantages too. Like you know, like I've talked about before, is that the frame lock you don't have to worry about holding, you know, having your fingers on the lock bar because the frame's inside the handle scale. So for just fidgeting and goofing off and playing with them and stuff, I would say maybe a liner lock is better for that. If you don't want to wear out your expensive frame lock, get a cheap liner lock to play with and to practice with. You know, sort of like what I'm doing. I don't want to call this cheap. This is $60. It's not cheap. But this one is what did I pay? It was $178 with the discount. I think there was $187 or something like that, and then with the 5% discount using KC USA at Knife Country, this one comes down to $178. And this is the S35VN Hornet, and it has full titanium handles. The clip, back spacer, handles, and everything are just made out of titanium. It's all solid milled titanium. That's contoured. It is beautiful. It has a T8 pivot, and the other screws look like T6s. I've never taken it apart, but I could look at it and tell it looks like a T6 to me. And if you don't like the glass breaker, this can come off too. But me myself, I like it. I like the whole knife. I just like the way it's designed. I know these flippers don't. That's the only thing about this one though, is that it's easy to get mixed up which side is the live side. Like you just saw me do right here. That wasn't a misfire. I'm not on the live side. I gotta flip it over because both sides feel exactly the same. And I don't know why, but even when you have your finger on the lock bar a little bit on this one, it doesn't interfere with the action like it does on my ZTs and Kershaws that I have. If I have my finger on my ZT or Kershaw lock bar and I go to open it, it won't open. Whereas this one, I have my finger on the lock bar and it still flies open just like a liner lock. I sort of like that. Because that means even in a panic mode, you know, like if you're in a dire situation and you're just grabbing stuff and you're you know, being stronger than you normally are, you're not paying attention to what you're doing, you're just grabbing stuff and need to open it, this one's going to open. Whereas the ZT or the Kershaw may not. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, this is ZT and the Kershaw. Now this one, when you put your finger on the lock bar and you go to open it, see how it won't open? You take your fingers off the lock bar, bam. Put your fingers on the lock bar, like you're in a panic, you just grab it, it's going to be hard to open it. And I finally opened up, there was a lot of pressure that I put on it. But see how it is? This one's the same way. I've heard people complain about they have problems opening this one. And I bet you it's because they're putting their finger on the lock bar right there. And then they go to open it and it doesn't open. You take your finger off the lock bar and it opens. But on this frame lock, even when your finger's on the lock bar, it still opens easily. And your finger's not on the lock bar, even opens easier. This is a very fast folder. And it's handle heavy. A little bit handle heavy. It's behind the choil, the finger choil, where it actually balances out. Balances out right here. So if you wanted to hold it like a 50-50 balanced knife, you'd have to hold it back here. And you can still put a good amount of pressure on the lock bar to keep it on the blade tang. That's one thing I do like about frame locks as opposed to liner locks. This is a beautiful knife. And like I said before, this feels like a $300 knife. That's why I went and got another one. Because it feels like a super high quality knife. Now this ZT, it's titanium. It has titanium and it has real carbon fiber. This is solid carbon fiber. It's not a laminate. This is real carbon fiber. And it has a 20 CV blade. This one has an S35VN blade, but they also have this one for the same price. Actually, it's a little bit less expensive, than this one, maybe by about $10 or $15. The Hornet with M390, because I paid $213 for my Hornet with M390, and this one was $225 plus the tax and everything. I think it was like came out to like $242 or something. After you know, because I got it on eBay, and after you pay all the fees and everything, it was like $240 something. But the list price was $225. This one, the out the door sent to me, to my door price was $213. So actually, it's about $30 almost cheaper. $30 cheaper with the M390 blade. Titanium, all full titanium handles, both sides. This only has titanium on one side. The other side's carbon fiber. But you know, it's nice like this too, because this knife is super lightweight. Let's compare weights. .9 ounces. 4.9 ounces for this one. This one's going to be really light. 3.3 3.7 ounces. It was saying almost 3.8. And it's probably really 3.8 ounces because it's fluctuating between 3.7 and 3.8. I would call it 3.8. And this is called a subframe lock. I know I was calling it a frame lock before, but actually I did more research on it. It's called a subframe lock. It's like in between a liner lock and a frame lock. 3.5 ounces. This version weighs actually a little bit more. 5.0. 5.0. 5.0. In the waistline, since it's out, 4.1. These have 3.8 millimeter blades, 4 millimeter blade, and I can't remember what this one is. I'm just going to do it real quick. 3.91, 3.94. So that's basically a 4 millimeter blade. I'll just call it a 4 millimeter blade. And this one's like a 3 millimeter blade, I think. Yep, 3.03. Beautiful knives. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. This one's going in my rotation drawer. This one will get carried with me. Most likely when I'm riding a bike. This will be like a motorcycle knife. It won't be a knife that I take to work. It'll be a knife that I carry when I'm not at work. I want to go hang with the fellas and show off my new knife. This one's pretty much the same thing too, but I have taken this one to work several times now. And this one's going to work a lot. This one I wanted to carry to work, but that pocket clip's just too big and shiny for me to carry to work. I guess I could swap the pocket clips, but I don't really want to do that because I love this knife being the way it is, and I don't want to start taking parts off of it to put on other knives or whatever. I just like this knife the way it is. It's a beautiful knife. It'd be cool if they made one of these all blacked out. But this is as close you can get to a blacked out knife with the titanium versions. They make these in all sorts of different colors. They make them in like, I don't know, like psychedelic colors to different kind of patterns and stuff with different colors all in one handle. It's really cool. They do them all different kind of patterns and colors or whatever. They have like blue, green, I think purple too, either purple or pink or something like that. And the black, and then they have like the two different patterns with the psychedelic colors. It's really cool. I really like these. The 390 version usually goes for around $224. But if you go to Knife Country USA and use KCUSA, you can get a 5% discount on that, and it brings it down to $213. And that's a ship to you price. Whereas if you go to get one of these on eBay, it'd be $224 plus all the taxes and fees. So it actually comes out to like $240 or something like that. So I would recommend, if you want to get one, go to Knife Country USA. Alright, that's it for this video. I'm going to cut this one off. Peace out, Stiletto.